Struggling to find authentic Korean products near you? Want to experience Korean culture without having to book a flight? The Daebak Company has you covered. Daebak offers a one-stop shop for all things Korean. With their subscription box, you can transport yourself to Korea every season. From K-pop merch, tasty snacks, and K-beauty to fun K-characters, you'll find the best Korean products in the Daebak box and Daebak shop. Visit daebak.co and subscribe to begin your Korean experience. Link is in the description. I know they got like A grades in English in school.
Yeah.
But they will be like, oh, I don't know. I don't speak English, not good.
Yeah.
The premise seems to be you have to speak North American English.
Yeah,
it's true. Why do you think they're mad at you guys speaking English?
They just think we're showing off or something.
Yeah.
Flexing. And then we were buying popcorn and I was like, it's a cook.
You said Coke 주세요? Give me a Coke.
That-
Like BTS, Sonheung-min, or Kim Yeona, everybody that speak not perfect English, but they still get the message through.
McDonald's 가자.
No,
Yeah.
you say McDonald's 가자.
I know.
You don't say McDonald's 가자.
What?
See, he's the example of like making fun. Bringing Korea one slice closer to the world with extraordinary and fun toppings. Welcome to the Korean Pizza Club. And I am your host, David Kim. And we have our regulars with another regular today.
Oh.
Yes, he
Not
has
as
returned.
regular as us. Though.
Yeah.
Yes, it's his second appearance.
Semi-regular.
I think, right?
Yep.
Right.
Permanent.
Okay, so please introduce yourself, guys.
My name is Anna. I'm a YouTuber. I also own nalbashop.com. My shirt is from here. Go check it out. Thanks.
Okay.
I think I memorized it. I love it. Hey guys, I'm Savini. I do YouTube and a lot of other stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn.
Dan.
Hey guys, I'm Dan. You guys might remember me from Ramen and Chill. Yeah, I work in marketing at the moment.
Okay. Yes.
David, introduce
Introduce
yourself.
yourself.
I'm David. Yeah, I'm the host of KPC and I own DKDKTV. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, speaking of, actually, I have a new title.
Yes,
I don't know-
congratulations.
I don't know if I can say this. The only reason I'm saying this is because it's actually tied to the topic today. So I landed a new career, a job, and it's related to Mr. Beast.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm on their team as their Korean language coordinator. So
Ooh.
yeah, I revise all
Big
their
clap for David.
dubs and subs and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So
How much are they paying you?
I'm not gonna say
Let's
that.
talk
No.
dollars.
No. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, going back to the topic, why I bragged about that was because today's topic is what Koreans think of speaking English in a lot of perspectives. Like what Koreans think about others speaking English, themselves speaking English, to foreigners, and in all kinds of situations. And you guys all notice that we are very fluent in English. So we might have some episodes about speaking English in Korea and how that's
sure.
perceived.
Who is the most fluent in English, do you think?
Here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're all on par, no?
I think we're all similar.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Okay. Who has the worst Korean?
Oh,
It's
that's
either actually it's no, actually it's
I'm the.
Anya,
no.
that's
I think it's between you two.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
I'm-
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anya, that's
그러면
잘해.
안 돼, 그러면.
No. Okay. Today's about English. So yeah, we're going to be answering a lot of questions like, are Koreans actually bad at English? Like how important do they think of English? All those kind of stuff. So in a nutshell, what Koreans think of speaking English. So yeah. I don't think anybody denies the importance of speaking English and learning English in the Korean society, right? What kind of experiences do you have growing up as a Korean in our society and learning English or, just using it?
I mean, the reason why my mom took me and my younger brother to the UK was so we could get fluent in English when we were young. Because they say when you learn as a child, you soak it up like a sponge.
Yes.
It's much easier for you to learn it rather than later,
Yeah.
which is why she took us. And I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, linguistically, that is actually true. It's scientifically true. So
Yeah.
like from the age 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 or something, yeah, around that bracket, language is, obtained.
Yeah.
And And yeah, that's the exact same reason I went to the States as well. I was very lucky enough to go when I was 3. I started with my alphabets. And I, interestingly enough, learned Korean as my second language in church.
You went when you were 3?
Yeah.
And then how long did you stay?
For 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's how I got my English.
Wow, you learned English faster than me.
Yeah, but I had to keep up with the English later words when I came back. But that's another story. So let's save that. But what about you guys, Dan and Subini?
You guys were both born.
Yeah, I was born and raised. Yeah.
You were born there?
Yeah, I was born and raised.
Okay.
Really? I didn't know.
You weren't?
No.
But I was born and raised, but I learned English when I was in kindergarten because at home, my mom only spoke in Korean. So up until kindergarten, I was actually only knew how to speak Korean. And even at home, I would speak Korean. So the only times that I would use English was when I was at school.
Oh.
That's why I was saying you learned it faster than me because I learned when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And Dan?
I moved to the States when I was 3.
Oh, same as me.
Yeah, similar. So I think I did elementary, middle, and high school over there in the States. I did the reverse of what I think most people do, and I did my university here in Korea.
Oh.
And so I think I kind of had the opposite problem that like most people have, where it's like you come to Korea and then like learning the language kind of like for the first time.
Did you use Korean at like home too?
Yeah, I mean when my parents were home.
Your parents, yeah.
So like
Do you guys
occasionally.
get asked this question all the time? Because I do. People are like, do you think or do you dream in Korean or in English?
Oh.
I get asked this all the time.
That is
How is it for
actually
you
a
guys?
valid question because, what about you guys?
I definitely dream in English. Yeah.
You
I dream in
English?
concepts, not
Well,
like
yeah, I mean, I
language.
don't dream. I mean, but like,
No, but what language
language
are
do
you
you
like
think?
speaking to the people in?
Yeah.
So if there's
Yeah,
like
like
people in your
English,
dreams or
yeah.
something, so English
yeah,
for
I'm
you?
speaking in English.
I want to say both.
Really?
Both, yeah. Yeah.
Definitely Korean for me. Like
진짜?
thinking and dreaming, speaking, everything.
Oh,
Korean.
really?
Yeah. I have to like filter it out. So that's why I have a lot of filler words and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Mixed.
Mixed?
I think, yeah. So I think you and I are kind of similar. You did university in Korea too,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
so that's probably...
Yeah. I just stayed until like elementary school in the States. So yeah. But yeah, I think we are maybe rare compared to like the whole demographic, right? Like the average Korean wouldn't go abroad for like to learn English. I guess we're very privileged in some point. But like for the average Korean, by your indirect experience, like your friends and stuff, have you seen how much effort and time they spend on learning English?
I mean, yes. When I look at my nieces and my nephews, even when you're like at this stage, like they start making the babies when the mom's belly, they're already like listening to English tapes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Like even before you're out into the world, you need to already be learning English.
That's crazy, right?
Literally like this. And as soon as you're born, you attend like
영어 유치원.
English.
English
kindergarten.
tapes, English Disney TV shows, all of that is just constant because it is super, super important to learn to get ahead.
And apparently there's like a lottery for getting into English kindergarten
Yes.
nowadays.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so
It's very competitive.
competition is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even getting into like a foreign school. Like
Right.
Yeah, there's like a lot of requirements. Like you have to live abroad for like a couple of years, which is the reason why some people actually live abroad for only a couple of years so they can come back and teach their kids in Korea.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of money too.
Right. So you were in the States until like high school, right?
Yeah.
Right. But did you have any advantages in getting into college because of your English skills?
In Korea?
Yeah. For sure, right?
I mean, to be honest, it was not too difficult for me to
Yeah. That's the
university.
case for me too because I went in with the English admission, program, and I had like a TOEFL score over like I don't know 118 or something, and I just got accepted. So it wasn't that hard for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, people who have like good fluent English, it's very easy to get into like even the top tier schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's not the case nowadays because like the competition has gotten harder and harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, people in Korea, because they want those TOEFL, TOEIC scores, they go to academies, like prepare for SATs, AP, whatever, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
And I would say even as a content creator, like doing this as a job, the fact that a lot of Korean companies, they also hire out Korean influencers to reach Korean demographic. But if they want to reach a global market, then they really like the fact that I am fluent in both.
Yeah.
Right.
So there is definitely an advantage. Yeah.
And have you noticed any of your like after school period, days, like just after your 20s, have you noticed people trying to learn English in that age?
Honestly, oh, go ahead.
I feel like a lot of people try to relearn English, especially because when they're in high school, the reason why they're learning is only to take like the tests, not just for speaking. But then once they go out into like, you know, business, or they're trying to you know, talk to people, they want to learn English. But I feel like it's just so much harder to pick it up when you're older, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would realize that for any, you know, language. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So like if you go to Gangnam Station and stuff, there's so many hagwons, academies for
even like online stuff.
Adults to enlist for those English courses. Like it's a huge market.
Yeah.
Like very lucrative market.
Yeah.
And
I have a friend that teaches English to like profession, like lawyers and like bankers and like really professional guys. They do it after they've done their work. They come and learn English from a native.
Yeah. I have a friend too that was a native in New York, and because of COVID, she had to like stop her job and stuff. She resorted in Seoul, and she started doing like teaching English to like one of the like private tutoring stuff, and she got paid so much. Like she self-sustains, she makes a living only out of that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe we should do that.
Wait, Dan, weren't you
Why
gonna
aren't
say
we
something?
doing?
I was going to say, like, even in the workplace nowadays, like, it's like almost compulsory to be able to speak English. Like,
Right.
For example, at our company, like, we don't turn in like documents in Korean.
Mm.
Like, it's all in English. So
Really?
it's
Yeah, I mean, your company is a global company.
We're a global
too, right?
company, yeah. But then, like, what's funny is like my team leader, like 팀장. I don't know how you say that in English, but she's Korean.
Okay.
But then because like the people above her are like all like English speakers.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have to like 일차 보고 in Korean.
Oh, okay.
And then completely
draft
first draft in Korean, and then like completely like
in English.
redo the final version like in English.
Do you do chat GPT?
I wish.
And also, I met one time this guy who was tutoring English for like HYBE idols and all the trainees as well. And I think it was like quite a well-paid gig.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So the English teaching and learning industry here is so big. Like it's separated into like, you know, kindergarten, elementary, high school, you know, Korean SAT English exams. And then like there's the business English and just lifestyle English. It's all divided.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny though. Like, no, is it different?
It kind of is though, no?
Is it?
Kind of is.
I mean, if it's the reverse for me in Korean, like I can speak conversationally, casual Korean just fine. But sometimes when I have to deal with like business Korean lingo, I'm like, I wish I had like.
You got to turn in like documents and stuff.
Yeah,
like
documents
that.
and just business email lingo. I'm like, I wish I was better.
Very different.
Okay.
I should study more. Yeah, Korean.
Yeah, Korean. I agree.
Okay. So you basically get a gist of how hardcore Koreans are learning in English, about learning English. It would be natural to think that Koreans would be good at speaking English, considering this much level of interest and effort, right? But contrary to that, I've heard from a lot of my subscribers and foreigner friends that a lot of Koreans actually are very shy about speaking English. They don't really try to talk in English. And, you know, the foreigners are actually curious, like, do these guys actually speak English, or are they bad at it, or are they just shy at it? What do you think?
It's just a cultural thing, no? Like, I feel like Koreans, comparatively, like, have you guys ever been to Japan at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't respond to you in English. Like, you can say something to them in English, and then they'll say something in Japanese.
Oh, really?
That's true.
They don't do that in Korea.
Yeah,
They'll
they
at least
try to
like
speak
explain,
back.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think that's because they're incapable, or do you think like they have pride in their own language? What do you think?
In Japan, I think it's
Or,
kind of
like,
a little
in
bit of
Korea?
both.
No,
Both?
Yeah. But then I feel like in Korea, it's more like, it's like a shyness.
A
problem.
shyness?
I think they're
right?
afraid to make the mistake, or you know, be kind of like not criticized, but they don't want to look like they're like
Stupid.
Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So every time like they're like, no, like speak to me in English, I would speak to them in English, and then if I were to like correct them, they're like, oh, let me know if I'm doing something wrong, and I would correct them, but then they would become even more shy. So
Yeah.
I usually don't like to talk to them.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's definitely a different case to Japan. Because Japan, as you said, it's like maybe incapable. Because I've heard, I'm not hating on Japan. Don't get me wrong. But I've heard like Japanese people like relatively don't speak English that much.
Yeah,
right. That's what I've heard.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But then like we have French people that like just blatantly don't like speaking English.
Right.
Like they have a cultural pride over. Yeah, so they don't speak English, but that it's a different case in Korean because like obviously like we've seen there's such a competitive English learning culture here,
right.
But it's kind of weird to think that nobody actually speaks English to you.
To be honest, I think most people around our demographic and younger, they will basically understand everything. Most things, listening wise, everyone's really good.
I hear that.
But they're afraid to make a mistake during conversation. But obviously if you ask like my dad's generation, a lot of them won't understand either. They will find it really hard English.
I think like up to our generation,
people will generally understand.
They'll understand. It's in the curriculum and stuff. So millennials will all understand.
They'll say, oh, like I'm good at listening, but I'm not good at talking. Like they'll just say stuff like that. Like, listening 되는데.
But like if you think about it, if you're good at listening and if you know the grammar and know how to read and write, like obviously you can maybe translate that into like speaking skills too, right? But like it's just...
But I always say this, I sometimes feel like I have a personality shift when I speak in Korean versus when I speak English, because in English you're a lot more like freer. There's no honorifics first of all within the language, so you feel you're free to speak to whoever, even people older than you, like in a friendly manner. But obviously in Korean there's like the actual honorifics within the language, so I feel like I'm a little bit more reserved, a little bit more polite, and because Korean people have that innately within them anyway, even when they're speaking English, like they're like very like respectful, polite.
That's a perspective I've never thought about.
Whereas in English I'm just like, hey, what's up, like
so do you think like this shyness and the politeness combine and mix and make like a dynamic that makes it even more like repulsive?
They're only like thank you, very nice.
Have you guys ever had like this type of situation where you meet somebody who could speak both and then like they're older than you, right? So they're like a couple years older than you, but then you're at like another, I don't know, friendly outing, and then you speak to them obviously in like 반말, not 존댓말, right? And then like people around you would be like, oh, like why are you speaking to her not in honorifics? And then I'll be like, well, because they speak English too. And I've had a lot of that type of situations. So then other people who don't speak English won't understand it and will find me rude. But then for me, since I speak to them in English and there isn't honorifics, I don't.
That is a thing actually.
Right? You know
like
what I mean?
was kind of confused too because when I was talking to a foreigner, first we engage in English. And then when I learned that he or she is good in Korean as well, I convert to Korean and I start using 반말 because like I'm
반말 is informal language.
Informal.
Or even right now, you know how in the beginning I was like, oh, like 뭐 이거 눌렀어요? I asked you in 존댓말 because you are older, but then I met you and we speak in English. So you know, I had a lot of situations like this, so a lot of people find that rude sometimes. If I
so maybe that honorific thing actually does play a part in why English. Koreans are like have to double think in speaking English. But I want to pinpoint, I think it's mostly confidence issues. Don't you think so? I think it's mostly confidence. Because
they don't want to be judged.
And there are like the few rare, very extrovert Koreans with a lot of confidence. And even if they can't speak it that well, they'll just use body language. Be like, yo, what's up? Like, hey, like, they'll just try.
People are just overall reserved. So
definitely.
They're not like really outgoing, especially to strangers.
Right.
So if someone asks you in English something, like they will be like, oh, I don't know. I don't speak English, not good, or something like that. But one thing though is a lot of Koreans, what I've noticed is like, I know they got like A grades in English in school. But they refrain from speaking English, and that's very weird to me. And I asked them like, you're good in English, why don't you speak? And they're like, oh, my pronunciation's not good. So the focus on pronunciation, like what do you think of that in Koreans?
It's just everyone's just so self-conscious. I don't know why that is, but they just don't want to be seen as stupid and making any mistake.
But I've met a lot of good like people in Korea who can speak good English as well. Like, cause I feel like they listen to a lot of like English songs or movies and stuff. So I'm like, wow, your pronunciation is really good. You know, so I always get shocked as well. So I think it's like case by case.
Yeah. The funny thing is when we're talking about pronunciation here, the premise seems to be you have to speak North American English.
That's true.
So if you don't speak the North American accent, or like UK might pass, but that's very rare. So like, leave aside that. But like if you don't speak the North American accent, your pronunciation is seen as bad.
Right.
So like, what do you think of that angle there?
I mean, Koreans they have the specific Korean way of speaking English. You know, they put "oo" at the end of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow, why are you laughing, Anna?
Oh, that's like a really funny example. Like,
yeah, I can speak Korean English.
Could speak Korean English.
Not trying to make fun of them at all.
But this is literally how it sounds.
But like, if I could speak English, I am not really good. Trying best. Yeah, right? Like I'm trying to, I'm not trying to make fun of Korean English, okay? Like this is literally how people speak because of our language. You know, right? And I want to ask you, Dan, because like I've seen a very interesting quote about this English pronunciation thing. A lot of people bring the example of Sunny a lot because he does a lot of interviews in English, right?
That's true,
his English is not perfect, right?
Yeah,
but he's very confident about that. What do you think about that part? Like his pronunciation and...
Well, so I always call it like, we call it, I guess in like Subini, where we're from, we call it like fob English, kind of, where it's like you kind of got a little bit fresh off the boat.
What's that?
You kind of got a little bit of that like...
Fob means fresh off the boat. You're new. You're
yeah. So it's like a term. If you're like Korean, but then like if you just got to the States or something, it's kind of like a...
Literally, you're fresh off the boat onto the land.
Okay.
So I feel like with Sunny, like he's kind of got a little bit of that going because like he's been, I think he lived in Germany for a while.
Yeah, so he actually has a German accent.
He's got both. He's got a little bit of both. And then he's got the Korean accent on top of that. But I think in terms of like his pronunciation and like his ability, like it's quite easy to understand.
Yeah, I really like the way he speaks. I think it's pleasant to listen to.
So I thought that was a prime example of like countering the mindset of Koreans that are shy because like, you know, I'm pretty sure they all have the ability to speak as much as Sunny, right? Like
but he's also lived in Europe for a long time.
So he's got the confidence and the attitude.
Yeah, the attitude.
That's why it goes back to those two issues, I think. So like he doesn't care about what his accent or pronunciations like.
That's true.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm delivering my message, that's enough.
Yeah.
But,
and you know how Korean culture is like, unless you have like, you know, it's like flex culture and all this, maybe unless they feel like, unless I have like the best level of English, I just should not even try.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like that kind of mentality.
Right. Yeah. So that's another problem too, because a lot of shaming, mocking, making fun. Mocking, these people don't even speak perfect English either. And they're the ones that are actually like making fun of English pronunciation.
You know, you guys know what though? Like conversely, have you guys ever been in a situation as like, I guess all kind of Korean, Western influenced? What's the word? We just call it Korean, Kyopo, right? Like as Kyopo is living in Korea, have you ever had that moment where like an ajumma or like an ajoshi on the subway has given you like a dirty look for speaking to a friend in English? Or
100%.
I mean, you were talking about episodes, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we all have one of those episodes.
Let's get into that a little bit later. Yeah. So we all as fluent English speakers have gotten frowned upon.
All the time.
All the time. But let's leave that for the last segment. Going back to like Sunny and like the other accents and stuff. So you noticed like you're going to Singapore next week, right?
I am.
Singapore has their own accent, right?
Yeah, they have a
Singlish.
Singlish. And
okay la.
Yeah, that's okay la. Right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So Singlish, they have their own accent and they just go with it, right?
No, they go with it.
They're not afraid to speak because it's not Northern American accent.
All about confidence.
Right. So I'm just really curious. Like Korea has one of the best educations on English in the world, but I'm just like so sad on how they're not like actually. Like,
but in Singapore, like English is like the main language.
That's true.
I think it's also who you surround yourself with because Koreans, sometimes they'll hang out with Korean Americans or different foreigners. But if they're just going to be hanging around with Korean people or like people who live here, obviously your chance of speaking English is not going to be like as higher.
That's true.
So I think that's why. So even when like fobs, they go to America, sometimes their English doesn't improve because they're hanging out with Korean people. So I know so many people who have studied in Korea who came from Korea. I mean, studied in America who came from Korea, but they're not good at English because they're always hanging around with like Korean people.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, if you're going to improve your English, you need to hang out with the native speakers, right? But like, I guess that is a point, considering that Korea is a homogenous society, and we don't have that much opportunity to speak in English. But still, like, everybody has the skills. They all have it inside, you know. Like, speaking of Singapore, there's like African people. They have their own accent. Where else? Like Indian.
They have a lot of Indian, like
Vietnamese.
Chinese people.
Like,
I think I saw also a video of Blackpink's Jisoo. An interviewer asked her, like, so all of your bandmates, they're all like fluent in English. Like, has your own English improved over the years? And she was like, all in Korean, like, no, like, I literally don't need to learn it because they can all speak it. I just hang around with them. And and the interviewer was like, oh, okay.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, they have 3 fluent members, so she'd be like, okay, I'm the visual.
She was like, I don't need to speak it. They can speak it for me.
I wonder what language they speak to each other in.
Probably English,
she understands. She can
Mixed,
listen everything.
Like
she
English,
understands
Korean,
everything.
Yeah. But like, even for Jisoo though, like, Jisoo's my favorite. No hate, no shade at all. But I wish she could speak a little bit of English. It's so cute when she like speaks English. You know, those little snippets of her speaking English is so like, I watched them 5 times over and over.
Okay, David.
Okay.
No one asked.
But my point is, like, everybody around the world doesn't have like perfect accents, but I'm just bizarred at why Koreans in particular are just so conscious about their own pronunciations. Yeah, that's a mystery for me. I don't know. But okay, you guys mentioned the lack of opportunity to speak English. But let's go back to the bad culture of making fun of other people speaking English.
I mean, Koreans will just do this anyway. Like, it's like you do it, you and Jin. Like, I feel like they're always roasting each other, always making fun of each other. You don't let them just do whatever. They're always like, sorry. You're so cringy, or you're like la la la. But it's just like it's just like within the culture, with teen friends especially. They're not that supportive. They're always just like roasting each other.
That's true.
So that's why people are self-conscious.
Yeah, Koreans roast each other. I don't know. Is it the case with wait, what's the word for the opposite word for bro? I can't say ho, but
bitches.
Anyways, like, bros roast each other. But like, do girls do that too? I don't know.
I feel like girls are slightly nicer to each other.
Right?
Yeah.
I never had anything like that.
Would you make fun of a girl who's trying to speak in English?
No.
Their accent? I mean, you guys wouldn't.
I have Korean people making fun of my Korean accent.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they do that.
See, like, I have so much of that.
Yeah.
But I just speak it, you know? But
then that means there's a high probability that they would roast bad English speakers.
They probably
But David roasts everybody, literally.
It's just fun.
Cringy social media posts.
I know. You always.
It's fun. Do you ever roast anybody for these kind of stuff?
No, I'm a nice person. I don't do stuff like that.
Okay, nice guy. But yeah, I've seen so many Koreans around me, my friends. Like, whenever someone uses like even just a slight word, actually, if you go back to like the early 2000s, I think there was a commercial by Kristel, and she said Neutrogena. And
they were like, her accent.
The whole nation flipped crazy over that because she pronounced it Neutrogena.
Yeah.
It is Neutrogena.
Yeah, but everybody was like, why does she have to pronounce it like that? Because she's American, right?
She is literally American.
Right.
How are you supposed to say it? Neutrogena.
Neutrogena.
It's
kind of kill it a little bit though, no?
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to be like Neutrogena. That's what you just sounded like.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. But like, the whole nation was flipping over that. It was a meme. And if they put standards on an American like that, like, she's American, right?
She is American citizen. Yeah.
Like, what happens with the Korean people are like, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but if they're just saying an English word and they pronounce it slightly like cheesy, like an American accent, they would be like, oh, like, what are you doing with your accent, you know? Or,
you're deliberately trying to make yourself seem like slightly better than.
Yeah. I don't understand that. Why?
People just cannot be happy for each other. They just always just want to make fun, I feel like.
And I think that kind of attitude hinders the confidence of people trying to speak up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of friends who are like Korean?
Yes.
That like studied here only
all of
here?
them. Yes.
Are they good at English?
They are. They are
Really?
inside. Inside,
Oh.
they're perfect. I think they're even better with grammar than me compared. I don't know any grammar at all. Like I don't know what verbs, adjectives, what
You just speak
order-
it, yeah.
Yeah. But they know better like actual English than me.
Yeah.
And where was the question going?
Oh no, I was just curious because I feel like foreign schools, they're really good at English. 'Cause obviously they're being taught by people who are not
A lot of them don't
Korean.
speak Korean.
Yeah, they don't speak
yeah.
Korean. So that's why I was wondering if, Koreans, if you personally know anybody, because I feel like the education system's so different
Yeah.
that like I haven't really met a Korean who can speak like really good, who hasn't been abroad.
But nowadays it's different. My nieces and nephews, they basically speak perfect English and
Really?
they've never been out of Korea.
But then
Yeah.
it also changes because when you're younger, you're still
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
and then you don't use it.
Mm.
So I know like a lot of younger kids.
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
better.
I think the best example for that was Ban Ki-moon. He was the UN Secretary General.
Didn't he go? He went to Dartmouth though.
Did he?
Yeah.
But his English isn't that good,
Yeah, and
I
his
mean,
pronunciation is like very Konglish.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of articles about him saying that he got education in Korea and like despite his pronunciation, he could become the UN Secretary General.
Yeah.
Back in those days, people were like, pronunciation isn't that important and seeing him as a role model, but I don't know where that all went.
Yeah.
Right. But okay, let's go to our episodes. Yeah, as fluent English speakers living in Korea. What kind of looks and episodes do you guys have when you're speaking English in
So many.
the wild? Yeah.
So many.
Go on.
There was one time I was on the subway with my basketball team, and like my whole team was like 외국인s, right? Like one dude was like 210 centimeters. Another guy was like
What's
190.
210? What their height?
their heights. Their
What
heights.
is he, Yao Ming?
They were enormous. Like
What?
But there's
Yeah,
a lot
like-
of people in Korea.
Yeah.
What? 2 meters?
KPL people, they're 2 meters.
yeah.
Crazy.
Like everyone played like pro or like college
Wow.
basketball like,
Okay,
at some
okay.
point. So we were just coming back from, I think, like we played like a Yeonse team or something
Okay.
actually. So we were coming back, and then I remember we were on the subway, and then just the whole train was just like everybody was staring at us.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
because
Yeah.
they're
Because
so
you guys
tall,
were-
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
I would stab.
It wasn't just that either though. Like
if you're all speaking English and you were that tall,
exactly,
then
so it's just
people
like
would stare.
just put a target on. it.
Also,
That's
if you
right.
just speak in the subway, they stare.
Yeah, in Korea, just you have to mostly stay quiet.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
combination of three things. How
Yeah.
could you not?
It's like, who are these annoying
That's true.
foreigners who are so tall and they just won't stop talking? Like,
tall,
Bingo.
Yeah.
tall, sweaty, obnoxious.
관종. Yeah, they
Yeah,
always say
yeah, yeah.
관종, like attention seekers.
Yeah.
They will say that about us too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
literally.
they literally call us bananas.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know what a
Like
banana means?
Asian, like
It's
yellow
like a
on the
Twinkie.
outside but white on the
Twinkie,
inside.
Yeah.
Twinkie.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally had that so many times. If I'm out with her or like other friends who speak English and we happen to be speaking English, some people will stare and be like,
Yeah.
What's the worst
뭐야?
thing anybody's ever done to you guys though?
like it was just mostly comments like 쟤네들 뭔데 왜?
Bad looks.
Yeah, bad looks.
that's
Stuff
true.
like
Like,
that.
who are they? Why are they speaking
시끄러워.
English? Yeah, they're loud.
I mean, even on my YouTube comments, I have sometimes Koreans commenting in Korean, like, what does she know? She knows nothing. She's not even fully Korean. Like,
just
I am-
because you speak English?
yeah, just because I speak, I am 100% by blood Korean. Like, I don't know what you want
yeah.
me to do. Like,
I have a lot of situations where like I'm waiting in line and obviously it's like girls' restroom lines are always long.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
you
right.
conversate with your girls in line to
Right.
talk, and I always hear like the girls in the back like they're like like 짜증나 like
쟤는 뭐야?
Yeah, translate that.
And the thing is, and then I it's basically like like it's so annoying. Like why are they speaking like
English.
in
Yeah.
English and
Yeah.
stuff? And then I just switch it back up, and I was like, 그래가지고 like I speak right. I get so mad, and then they just like become quiet.
Right.
yeah.
Why do you think they're mad at you guys speaking English? What's the reason?
they just think we're showing off or something.
Yeah.
Flexing.
Ah.
Oh.
Or they,
Like-
they don't think we understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't think we
Mm.
understand.
Because like the thing is, like I've been in situations where, say I'm with like a Korean friend, but they're speaking English, right? They don't say anything to them,
Yeah.
but it's just like obviously I think it's like our accent. I think it just kind of sounds different from that, and it just kind of echoes like more.
Mm-mm.
잘 들린다고.
Yeah, it's more like well received.
Yeah.
We get loud. Like American, when you get into a conversation, I get really loud.
Americans are loud.
Yeah, I get loud.
Part of it is the language, maybe.
When I get excited, I get really loud.
Might just be a Subini thing.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're annoyed.
I remember one time, like this was when Sue had just come back to Korea, and I went to the movies with my family, and then we were buying popcorn, and I was like, oh, the Coke, because in Korea it's like cola. Cola. We don't say, can I have a cola? I usually say I want a Diet Coke or whatever. I completely forgot, and then they were like so confused as what I was saying. They were like, oh, and I was like, cola 주세요.
You said Coke 주세요? Give me a Coke.
There's a famous video, David. You know, there's a famous video.
I know.
Yeah, there was the teacher,
of
right?
the teacher lady who was like doing a whole lecture.
Oh yeah,
it's like
I want
cock.
the cock.
I want a cock. Please give me a cock.
It's very famous.
A big black cock.
No, she didn't
she
say
did
big
not
black
say
cock.
Coke is black.
What? Oh my god.
brown.
No, anyway, she didn't say that stuff.
Oh
but
my
anyway,
Sorry.
Yeah, but my dad, he's done like US life too, so he's kind of Americanized too. He doesn't speak good English, but he has that accent sometimes.
Yeah.
He went into a Starbucks and he was ordering. He said Americano 하나 주세요. Like he said Americano. And that's how you pronounce it, right? Americano, right? But in Korea it's Americano, right? The waitress literally laughed at him. Like, 네, 손님.
they were just making
That's
fun.
so mean.
I know. And
What's the point of laughing at that? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they laugh because it's cute or like it's somewhat never heard of before. But he was like Americano 주세요.
근데 약간 sorry, English. You guys ever been to like Cheongdam or like Apgujeong area where it's like you get like those 사모님s?
Yeah,
and
the
like
rich
they're
ladies.
purposely trying to like speak in like those accents. They're like Americano. 하나 주세요.
Right.
You guys ever seen that?
There are those people. Yeah.
진짜?
Maybe
Really?
they're
It's the best.
they're the ones that are setting the bad image.
They do it on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh.
There are people like that.
Because like to show off that like you lived abroad.
Yeah.
There are people like that. Think of it. Yeah.
No, I genuinely do not try to. It's, you know, there are some English words that you also say in Korean, but you say it Koreanified.
Yeah.
Like you said, Americano, Americano.
Right.
When I speak to a Korean person, I always try to say the Koreanified version. So
Me too.
Yeah, right?
Me too.
Everyone does that.
But sometimes it's just my language, my tongue. It just like slips.
Yeah.
And then the other, I remember like last week I was saying to someone like, you know, Dom Perignon, the champagne.
Yeah.
How do you say in Korean? The Korean.
Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon. I just could
kinda
not. I was just like, I don't know.
awkward.
And I was just
That's
saying,
awkward.
la Dom Perignon. They're like,
Dom
your
Perignon.
발음, your accent. I was just like, I'm sorry. Like,
That's happened like a million times for me. We have to switch modes constantly, right?
Like,
Subini, do you do that? I don't think you do, no?
She just says it in
she
English.
says it in English
I
way.
just speak in like Korean Konglish to like all of my friends, or even just to regular
Like,
people.
say you're gonna say, let's go to McDonald's. How would you say that in Korean?
Let you go to.
What?
아니야.
In
Obviously,
Korean.
McDonald's 가자.
이렇게.
Yeah, McDonald's 가자.
No, you
Right.
say McDonald's 가자.
McDonald's
I know. 가자.
You don't say McDonald's 가자.
What?
See, he's the example of like making fun.
Yeah.
See?
But if I'm speaking to just Koreans,
Yeah, he's Korean. He just proved it.
but if I'm in a group of just Koreans, then I will always try to self-consciously say the
Me
Koreanified
too.
version.
Me too.
Because I just don't want them to like be
Make fun
pissed
of
off
me.
or or
What do you guys
whatever.
call this?
iPhone.
iPhone.
No, like
폰.
Phone.
휴대폰, right?
Mhm.
You don't call it like mobile or like.
No.
Who calls it mobile?
Don't they do that in UK?
No, you say my
I'm on
phone.
my cell.
Where's
I'm
my
on my
phone? No,
mobile
nobody
today.
says cell. It's like,
No,
where's my phone?
where's my
Have you
phone?
seen my phone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
phone, right.
You
Mobile.
say, where's my phone?
Yeah, phone.
Where's my phone?
Yeah.
Was that your UK?
Kiss me through the phone. No.
But yeah, like, see, he just proved the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment Subini said McDonald's gaja, he's like, who says McDonald's gaja?
근데 whenever we're out with me and Subini, we always speak like this. Oh, I'm so 피곤해.
All right. That's like,
We always mix
Or
English
even
and
when I'm
Korean.
like texting too. Like, if I can't think of the word or I don't know how to spell it in Korean, I'll just write it in
Y'all do
English.
the 청담 아줌마.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It's kind of different. Like,
This is why, like, for the majority part, like, since I came back to Korea, I prefer to date like Kyopo guys or like westernized guys because they understand all these little things.
Yeah.
But also I dated Korean guys too, and I have to make a double the effort to all these.
Oh, I have such a
yeah.
Girl.
You know, every
That's
time.
a whole different episode on its own.
Okay, let's save that one. A full dialogue is a full, like, you know, landmine place.
Yeah.
You know, every single English word you need to tread on very carefully.
Yeah.
Like, it's either they say "ooh" or like they imitate you or something like that. So very annoying. What is your message to the world, to fellow Korean society about this matter? You could give advice
to Koreans.
David, do Koreans watch this show?
Some do.
Some do.
Some do for learning English purposes. Yes.
Get out of your shell. Speak.
Yeah,
you're not gonna
nobody
get
wants
better
to see you fail.
otherwise.
Nobody's making fun of you, especially foreigners. They're really nice. Even if you're speaking to them with like mistakes here and there, they're gonna just find it really charming and cute.
Yeah.
So just speak with confidence, use body language, and like everyone will understand. So go for it. That will literally the only way you improve.
Yeah, or every chance you get to speak English, I feel like you should take it.
Don't be afraid. And just think of all those big time, you know, famous people outside of Korea, like BTS, Son Heung-min, or, you know, Kim Yeon-ah, everybody that speak not perfect English, but they still get the message through. Yesterday, I was watching the Wimbledon finals, and Alcaraz, the new tennis supernova, he's from Spain, and he doesn't speak good English. Like his accent was very weird to me, but you know, he just goes through. You know, he just does it. So I don't know why Koreans are just.
I think it's so much more respectable when people do that. When like English isn't your first language, but you just get out there and you're just kind of like. You know, I'm just going to do this.
I think if you just think in the reverse way, like foreigners coming to Korea, they speak broken Korean.
Yeah, exactly.
We admire that, right? We respect that. Like if you speak English to an English speaker with broken English, they'll still get the message, but at the same time respect the fact that you're working hard, like putting effort into it. So I think that's the mindset.
오렌지 주스.
Yeah.
이런 거.
Orange juice.
오렌지 주스.
Yeah.
How would you say that?
Orange juice. Try to say it in the Koreanified way. 해봐.
오렌지 주스.
It's not bad.
Right? Yeah.
It's not
오렌지
bad at
주스.
all.
Try saying, let's go have a burger at Shake Shack.
In Korean? 우리 쉐이크 가서 햄버거 먹자.
That's cute. See, like all three of us are laughing.
Hey, but we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
You try. Anna, you give it a try.
우리 쉑쉑 이러잖아. 쉑쉑.
Shake.
쉑쉑 가서 버거 먹자.
진짜? 쉐이크 아니야?
Shake.
그러니까 짧게 얘기하잖아.
이거
줄임말. 쉑쉑. 쉑쉑 가서 버거 먹자.
Shake. Yeah.
Shake 가서
I really think I'm better at Korean than Subiri.
I mean, you guys told me to do.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyways, that was it for this episode. Yeah, that's all we prepared. It was a quick, fun episode, I guess. I just wanted to respond to the questions of my subscribers, always saying like they want to make friends in Korea, but like nobody seems to try to speak English with me other than the people that have a goal of learning English. So they don't want to be used as like English teachers. They want to be genuine friends, but then those friends are very shy and they're like, they don't open up in English. So a lot of people are stressed. But I think if you push through and just say like, it's okay, like just speak in English, you know, it's going to be okay. Yeah, that was it. That was it for the episode today. I just want to do a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Daebak Box. Speaking of English and Korea, like these... Daebak. Yeah, it's called Daebak Box. You get a lot of assorted, curated Korean products. You got K-pop merch here, BT21, ATEEZ albums, and like a Kakao patch here, like some what is this? Nice little eye band.
What is it?
Thingy.
I think it's an eye band or like
I mean the black thing. Is that a brush?
Oh, this is like you brush it like your scalp.
What did you think it was?
Like a spatula.
Oh no, this is sponsored. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you get like DNA pouches.
This is super cute.
Yeah. DNA pouches, cream, and like a little bit
noodle.
of noodles and a cute little box there. too. So we have the spring version and summer version is coming out soon since it's summer. So yeah, look forward to that. The links are in the description below. You get a 10% discount off, so go check that out. And also, if you want to support this podcast, please check out patreon.com/Korean Pizza Club. I do exclusive podcasts there, and I have other exciting projects coming up. And yeah, everybody say bye, and we'll see you guys next time.
Subscribe.
Peace.
Bye.
Wow.